Hello everyone, Scott here again, and welcome back to the Guilty Pleasure Cinema, celebrating the movies you're embarrassed to love and showcasing those you might have missed. Today starts the 2-week, originally one, Halloween skip week. Nosferatu went up on Wednesday, the 10th. My calendar is here. And normally, in 2 weeks, would be October 24th and the next review. However, if I just delay that by a week, I can hit Halloween Day. Kind of obvious. So instead, I'm going to do that, and I was going to put a skip week in for the 22nd through 25th, 26th. Then I realized I could just do the 2 weeks, because I've got some stuff I'm doing this week. I'm actually on vacation coming up, so a lot of productivity is being done, a lot of stuff being made, and actually most of this skip week is done. So what I'm doing instead, at the very least, is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing for the next 2 weeks, leading up to the review on the 31st. Today's the first piece, a video log, and it's celebrating Triskaidekafiles. If you see me looking like this, I'm looking at my computer, and I need that because I always say it Triskaidekafiles, but that's Jason's website. My friend Jason goes by Jason Gray. He's probably one of my best friends, if not my best friend, and he has been so influential with Guilty Pleasure Cinema. To go through that history first, just to show why I'm talking about this, he's been helping me develop, per se, the entire concept. Ever since I came up with the idea back in 2010. He's been encouraging on it. He helped with the name. Guilty Pleasures was the idea, but GPC, GP something, I like the GP, I like the initials. I'm an old school wrestling fan, so WCW, WWE, WWF, ECW, something just rolls off the tongue like that. So I wanted to hit that kind of thing. You even see it with Angry Video Game Nerd, AVGN, Nostalgia Critic, he calls him the NC. So the GPC or GP something. And I was going to go with Guilty Pleasures Classics, but he suggested the cinema because that's more of a place, and that works better. And now, like, here we are, the Guilty Pleasure Cinema. So he did that. He also helped with a lot of the initial troubleshooting for a program he wasn't using as I was figuring out stuff with editing on the first episode. That was frightening with the audio and such. He helped with that. He developed the banner on the website at the top. He modified what he did initially, which was the graphic of the marquee logo. I put the text in it in the editing software, but he made the marquee itself and then made the small version banner on the website. He recommended Squarespace for the website as well. You name it. He's the first one that I usually show it to, and he gives comments and criticisms, and there's obviously a whole video I could do about who else has been influential with it. People I know at work have helped with physical parts of it, like computer pieces and an external drive. Others have made suggestions for concepts, and that's part of why the videos are back down to the pacing they are. They were starting to get bloated in the 30 to 40 minute range. They're back down near the 25 to 30. And a lot of people are influential in it. I'm basically the one who's doing it. And Jason's been one of the key, well, he's been the key from the start. He's been, if you want to talk about before day one, he's really the one. And the reason I'm talking about Triskaidekafiles now, still not sure if I'm saying that right, Triskaidekafiles? I don't know. Trisk. Is because today, October 13th, 2012, is the 3-year anniversary of his website. Now, he does reviews as well. As he says, I've got the website here, so I want to actually make sure I talk about this right. When he says, what is it? It's one man's descent into madness from far too many horror movies, aka his love letter to those movies. He loves horror like I love action. This is probably the best way to put it. I love 80s action movies. He loves horror. And he looks for stuff so bad it's good, and sometimes gets burned because it's just so bad. But most times he finds gems. And if you're thinking video reviewers, because I know not a lot of people, I talk to people about what I do, and I say it's like the video game nerd or nostalgia critic, and they blank. They don't know what I'm talking about. Not all that many people do. Some do, but majority doesn't. I tell them I do video reviews, etc. If you're familiar, it's like Obscurus Lupa Presents, how you get excited over cheesy bad movies, and you celebrate them, you relish them. Very similar to what I do. And if you watch the Running Man review I did, the one before Nosferatu, that was him. That little Cthulhu puppet was his. That was him doing the voice. And if he wants to tell stories about that someday, we on a commentary or something, there's some behind the scenes on where the tuxedo came from. But that was his. And I had wanted to do some kind of crossover at some point, and I had plans. I wanted to do one with the Cinema Snob. Not to say Jason became number 2, but I just thrown in a potential of, hey, maybe by September I could do something. Because I've got a movie I want to do, and he does the big box with VHS stuff. You never know. Nothing's come of that, at least not yet. So I fired the idea over to Jason to see. And then things fall into place, because Triskaidekafiles updates every 13th and 26th. Triska, whatever, is based on the idea of, I got this wrong last time, but it's not exactly fear of the number 13, but it's like Friday the 13th. It's 13. It's a superstition based on that, the fear and phobia. And the love of it as well, because that's Friday the 13th, Jason, stuff like that. But what it is from there is he posts on the 13th. And of course, October 13th, Halloween month, obviously, but also October 26th, 13 times 2. So he posted on that, and we realized that the date I'd thrown out there was simply just a matter of things falling into place on the same day. And now he's been doing this for 3 years, like I said. I've only been doing it since February. And it's crazy because I had the schedule out. May was a Avengers tie-in with League, and then I did a couple here and there with August's Rock Month. And then after that, I figured, all right, well, I'll do No Holds Barred, because they announced it for DVD, and I was able to use it. And that one came out as the first one in September. And then the crossover one was going to be the one after that, just because that's where it fell. Because I had plans for October, which fell through, but have turned out better with Nosferatu and the upcoming one. And September 26th was just that, what do I do there? So what was crazy is September 26th is literally the first of the dates that he's been doing reviews and I've been doing reviews where we were both going to put one up on the same day. Huh? Because, yeah, I do Wednesdays. I put them up Tuesday nights, so they're up on Wednesday, but they're Wednesdays. And this was the first 13th or 26th since February 29th that hit on a Wednesday. And I can't remember exactly how September 13th fell, because that's how his crossover started with the takeover, but it just fell into place. Like, it's amazing how things can just become coincidental. And heck, along with that, Kurt Fuller is in both No Holds Barred and The Running Man. That was unplanned, you know. I wanted to hold off on Schwarzenegger until at least after the first year, but because he's my favorite, but had to be done. And now I've got referential stuff I can do, so. But with Trisk, I sidetrack a lot, by the way. You've probably noticed this by now in my videos, but Jason loves the horror movies. And he even is putting on his site here that he hated them when he was young. As did I, and I still do. I can't stand horror movies. The only ones I actually give time to are the Paranormal Activity series and the Evil Dead series. And I argue even against that the Evil Dead ones are horror. They're really not. I have no time for Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th or Texas Chainsaw or any of that. Scream I liked because that's a deconstructive thing. I understand some people fundamentally hate those for the exact same reasons, and that's okay. But I generally hate horror because I don't want to spend my money or more my time on an emotion that I don't like. I hate being scared. And I'm the kind that when you hear a weird noise or it's dark out and your mind plays tricks on you, my mind plays tricks on me. It starts to go. It's like, what was that? It could be this. No, it isn't, but it could be, and it's that internal and I don't want stuff to trigger that. Basically, I don't want nightmare fuel. Even trailers, they're built on the shock and suspense. So why do I like the Paranormal Activity movies? I don't know. They're the worst kind for that, but I guess it's the minimalist nature of it. Jason, though, didn't like them, and he likes them now. And he even says that he got introduced to it by family, and sat through an entire week worth. Sounds like Clockwork Orange kind of conditioning there. But basically, he discovered late night movie marathons, much like if you've seen The Angry Video Game Nerd. He talks about his October Monster Madness. He does reviews all through October, and I just hit the desk. Sorry about that. It's with a host and cheesy movies, and it's awesome because it knows what it is. They're guilty pleasures, and you celebrate them, and they're awesome, and they're fun, and you enjoy it. Not for me, but when you look at that side of things, it really comes into play as something more. And with Trisk, he's giving bad movies good reviews. He started with Popcorn, which was his first review. And from there, I'm just going to bring up the list here. I'll probably actually put this onto the screen while I'm talking, but he started with Popcorn and has done everything from a TV movie called Snow Beast about a Bigfoot, the Stephen King classic Maximum Overdrive, Night Chills, which was just absolutely atrocious, Arcade, one of my most hated movies. He went from there and has branched out a little bit into Robot Jocks, Birdemic, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Ones that he admitted were hard to tackle, because Buffy knows what it is. When a movie isn't going down the snarky route, you can tackle it because you can clearly see it wasn't trying for that, like Robot Jocks. Robot Jocks, I can't stand it. I just think it's stupid and poorly made. But his review, I went, all right, you know what? It's better than I remember. It's better than I thought, but I still don't like it. But at least he looks for the good parts and the appreciative aspects, which is exactly what I do with Guilty Pleasure Cinema. I try to do that. And he does it here. Buffy's a tough one, though, because Buffy knows what it is. I can tackle that because people are like, oh, it's a stupid, it's a goofy, dumb thing. Yeah, but that was the point. You're missing the point. So I could tackle that for GPC. For his, though, it's a bit trickier because that's belying the joke. It doesn't really work. What else was on there? Waxwork, The Faculty, Puppet Master. One of his favorites is the Puppet Master series, a little guy named Blade. He did that. He's got Sleepwalkers in here, Sledgehammer, and he covers everything. His own kind of parameter for what not to tackle would be anything newer than the website. I took care of that with Birdemic. That was his punishment for making me do Running Man, because Running Man, for me, people love that movie. Why would I even review that? And I can tangent here a tiny bit, in that Guilty Pleasure Cinema is supposed to celebrate the movies you're embarrassed to love, but also to showcase ones you might have missed. And there's kind of this third underlying one, in that it's to say, hey, this one's better than you remember or shouldn't be overlooked as much. And that's like The Running Man compared to Predator or Commando or Terminator. It's the same as if you look at the Indiana Jones series. Ignoring the fourth, for the longest time people loved 1 and 3, Raiders and Last Crusade, but they overlooked Temple of Doom. It wasn't that good. I would actually review Temple of Doom specifically because it doesn't deserve to be overlooked quite that much. It doesn't deserve that. So that's the tackling idea I have with that. He does the same thing here. He'll look at something and be like, you know what, does this deserve to be outright ignored? Like, I've never heard of There's Nothing Out There. That's one that he reviewed. I've never heard of Demons of Ludlow. But then he looked at the Ripper movies. He looked at the Species movies. Horror High, Curse 2, The Bite, like some crazy stuff. So his goal is to give bad movies good reviews. And I've rambled quite a bit here about that, but I look at here and I see that he has 18 likes on Facebook. I've hit 60. He deserves more than that, guys. Come on. He's got... I guess the one thing that I do need to probably say in here is their text reviews. Oh no, you have to read. But they are text reviews, and you do have to read, but why is that bad? It doesn't make any sense. They're actually well done with his breakdowns, because what he does, I'd barely do this myself, but he talks about the basic idea. The morgue is the cast list, has your title screen credit. I actually ripped that off blatantly from him to show your title screen. I really lament the fact that when I get to a movie that doesn't do that. And he puts pictures in here. He makes jokes all through it, very similar to what I do. And he's not afraid of the bad joke, of course, as well. And at the end, he's now doing the autopsy report. Because he looks at the movie as a whole, the DVD or whatever he's reviewed it from. Looking at the one for Horror 101, the one posted today, celebrating the 3-year anniversary. And he talks about the video, the quality of it, the transfer, the audio, same thing. It's not really a huge factor. It's just, hey, if you're watching this, this is what you've got. The body count. Excuse me. The body count is the body count. Who died, when, was it worthwhile, etc., etc. This one's a bad example. There's only one. And then the blood type. How much gore? And how enjoyable is it? Then he does a movie review to say, here's what it was. And then the entertainment value. And that's the key point. Because that's what I tackle as well. That's how I try to approach things. The movie might be good. But was it entertaining? Depends on what you're looking for. It's a fine line between movie and film, if I may argue this point. If you look at things like Saving Private Ryan, that is a film, that is a movie, and I know it's semantics. Movie means motion picture, film means film strip, picture, it's all the same. But this is the kind of thought process I've got. Films win Academy Awards. Movies dominate the box office. Saving Private Ryan is both. And it's not, one can't be exclusive from the other. Battleship is a movie. It's not going to win any Best Picture awards, but it shouldn't be disregarded just because it's a big popcorn movie. It did what it wanted to do and did it well. So why are you saying, oh, but it's no Schindler's List? It's not trying to be. Conversely, there's a lot of movies. I don't like Wes Anderson. I don't like much by Terrence Malick. I'm not saying they are bad movies, because they're not. But I don't find them entertaining. At that point, I would argue they are bad movies, but not bad films. It's a really hard argument. The best I can probably say is about The Thin Red Line. That's one that I can really talk about clearly, because I remember seeing that. It was very well made. Competently made. But it was not entertaining whatsoever. And it wasn't even engrossing. It was just, okay, that happened. Huh. And my argument there is, well, was it well made? Well, yes, it was competently made. This is the flip side of my argument on things like Triple X. Was Triple X well made? Of course it was. It's a slick, high-polished action film. Okay. Was it a great film? If you go by my definition, that's a bit iffy. But was it a great movie? Oh, hell yeah. It's a fantastic movie. So it was well made and achieved its goal. Thin Red Line was, well, did it even achieve its goal? With me, no. So you can start to deconstruct the entire thing going back. With this, on Jason's, it's got the same kind of idea. The movie, he's got one where it's horrendous. It was a recent one he reviewed, and the movie review was just, oh, this is atrocious. This is bad. This is just, you can't believe what they thought was good enough. Entertainment value? Through the roof because of that. And that's the so bad it's good. That's why I'm recommending this as well, because I don't tackle those. I don't, because I don't look at so bad it's good. I look at so good, why do you overlook it? So Jason's deserves more readers. I almost said viewers. Yeah, watch the script. Watch the text. Jason does deserve more, and it's celebrating the anniversary. This isn't going to go up until the 15th on Monday, so the anniversary is 2 days old by this point. But by all means, check out, I'm going to spell it in a sec. I'm going to put it on here, but Triskaidekafiles.com. It's Triskaidekafiles. Triskaidekafiles. Because a Triskaidekafile, PH, that is the phobia type, like arachnophobia kind of thing. Arachnophiles would be that. This is Triskaidekafiles. So check it out. He is a huge supporter of my stuff. And if you support my stuff, I would love it if you supported his. Check that out. And I've got more to shoot today. There's a stack of stuff right here. And I hope you check out his stuff. And I hope you join me for the rest of this week. I'll give you a little breakdown of what's coming up. Wednesday, at least, will be a GPT, the second Guilty Pleasures test, I believe. And then Friday will be a talks. I might flip that. I'm not 100%. But that's what I've got planned for this week. Next week, on Monday, will be another vlog. I'm going to shoot that right now. And then on the Wednesday will be another GPT. And then Friday, the 26th, will be the full teaser reveal of what movie I'm doing for Halloween. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm a little surprised, but I'm sure you will soon. It's going to be pretty obvious. I've put up a lot of pictures and stuff, so. But I'll quit rambling. I'm bad at that. Check out Triskaidekafiles. Check out GPC all through this week and next week and beyond, of course. And that's about it. Because I was going to say something, but I'll say that for the next vlog. Thanks again.